Hello and welcome to the Arielle Knits YouTube channel. This is the first scarf, Knit Your First Scarf class. This is the first video in the series. If you would like to follow along using the pattern, you can get the pattern. I will link down to it below. It's on our blog for free. This scarf is really simple. You just need to know how to cast on, bind off, weave in ends, and knit and purl. So this is the first time we'll really be learning how to do a purl stitch, but the first thing you're going to want to do is cast on. If you don't already know how to cast on, check out our video for how to cast on for our beginner knit class where you knit a dishcloth. But just as a refresher, you'd start with a slip knot. The tail's towards you, the yarn attached to the ball is away from you. Grab the yarn, stick your index finger and thumb through to make this little diamond. Recline your index finger and thumb back. Take your needle, go around and up by the thumb. Come and grab this first string on this pointer finger, and then bring your needle back through the hole by your thumb. Take your thumb out of that hole, and then cinch it, not too tight, but close to the needle. Okay, if you didn't get that, again, we have another video. I'll link to that below, and I'll also put a card in the video. But we're going to cast on the number of stitches that the pattern tells us to, which is 60. I'm not going to cast on that many to begin with, just because I'm going to show how we're going to do it, and I want to get through that quickly for you. Okay, so once you've cast on, for the very first row, you are going to purl the first stitch. So let's do English style knitting, which I'm not super great at, but I'll do it anyways. So purl. Going to take the yarn. So when you purl, you're going to take your right needle, insert it instead of from front to back like this. So when you knit, you go front to back like so, right? When you purl, you're going to come from behind, still grabbing the first part, but behind, so you're going through this right here. Normally we come through like this. We're going to come through from behind. So we're going to come behind and front. Or if it's easier to think about it this way, you're just going to go bring your needle in the front and go straight across like so, right? So go like that. So now your right needle's in front instead of behind. Then you're going to wrap your yarn around and then bring your needle back through like so, and then push it off. Okay, then we're going to bring our yarn to the back. Yarn's in front when you purl and yarn's in back when you knit. So yarn is in back, we're going to knit. So front to back, wrap the yarn and bring through. Okay, and we're going to repeat that, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, all the way to the end. So I'll show you how to purl continental now. So bring the yarn to the front, stick your needle through like so, wrap the yarn around, bring your needle back through the hole, bringing the yarn you just wrapped around through, and push the stitch off the needle. Now move your yarn to the back and knit a stitch. Ta-da. And you're just going to do that until the end. You should end with a knit stitch. There we go. So you're ending with a knit stitch. Now we're going to turn our work. From here on out, you are just going to slip the first stitch purlwise. What that means is you bring your yarn to the front, you take your right needle, you go as if you're about to purl, but instead of actually purling and wrapping the yarn around, you're just going to slip that stitch onto your right needle. and then you're going to knit the next stitch. See how this is a knit stitch? If you took the class or saw our video, How to Read Your Work, that would be super helpful for this project. Let's see if it'll focus. Okay, so we're going to knit. That one's a purl. We're going to purl, knit, purl all the way to the end. You should end with a knit stitch. Okay, now we will turn our work again. And just like we did on the other side, we'll bring our yarn to the front and slip the next stitch purlwise onto your needle, and then knit purl all the way down, ending on a knit stitch. And that is basically what you're going to do for the entire scarf. Just going to knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit to the end, turn your work, slip the first stitch, and repeat. So knit. Now, as you can see, as we knit, so this fabric, you don't see any of the purls, right? It's because it's ribbing. So this is technically 1x1 ribbing, but ribbing like stretches and it pulls itself together, if that makes sense. Like it's stretchy, and it will 1x1 ribbing, it'll like compact itself like so. So it looks like it's all knit stitches, but it's actually knit stitches and purl stitches in between there. So that's how it's created. Then the slipping the first stitch is going to give us this nice edge, as you can see right here. So for this scarf, you can opt to just knit it in one color, or you can opt to switch colors. If you'd like to switch colors, check out the next video in the class where I will be teaching you how to switch colors. But for a list of all materials, all the things you're going to need, how much yarn, what size needles, check the link in the description for the pattern, which is free, and we'll be on our way to making our first scarf.